You guys, Crescent here. Welcome to my Stamina Nightblade complete guide video. Basically, I will cover a lot of topics. In particular, I'm gonna cover the builds, how you set up your items, and I'm gonna go through poisons, potions, racers, Mundus stones, Foodbuff. That is the second part. The third part would be the skill setup, how you set up skills for different builds. For example, like a two-hand bow build, you need different skills, and a two-hand dual wield build, you need a different skill. I will tell you what skills are good, what skills are not that good. And for the fourth part, it's gonna be about combat tactics. Combat tactics is a it's really interesting topic because there are a lot of things you need to know how to fight, especially like stuff like how what is your buff priority, what buffs do you need to keep up all the time, engagement, how to open a fight on your enemy to give you an advantage. That's really important. And the third one would be like skill usage, how you do your skills, how you do your rotations, you make use of your bursts, for example. And obviously the fourth part would be for combat tactics would be animation cancelling. It's a really simple topic, but a lot of people couldn't master it, and I'll tell you what kind of animation cancel that you need to master for Stamina Nightblade. And the last one would be just a resource management, so how you manage your resource. That is for the fourth part, combat tactics. And the last one would be gameplay. I'll show you some gameplay, and I'll commentate on the gameplay. I'll analyze basically all my decision making for that. So yeah, if you want to skip a particular topic, if you are an experienced Stamina Nightblade player, you can just skip a particular topic, but I highly recommend you to watch the full video because a lot of things you might actually miss out, even though, for example, you are experienced Nightblade. Okay, now I'm done with the intro. Yeah, last thing I want to mention is click on the I button on the top right of this video, then you can vote. I'll put in options so you can vote for the next class. I'm gonna do a Magicka class the next class, so you can choose, besides Magicka DK, you can choose Magicka Nightblade, Magicka Sorcerer, and Magicka Templar. I'm gonna do these three, so you choose one of those, and I'll do a guide video for it. Okay, now let's start with the build. So the first part would be the build. There are a lot of different styles of build. The most common one would be two-hand bow. That is what I'm gonna cover. And the second most common one would be dual wield two-hand. That's the third part is two-hand sword and board, which is a little bit of a dueling setup. I won't go through that because I don't think that is that not a lot of people will use a sword and board on the Stamina Nightblade, so I'll skip that one. Okay, let's start out with the sets first. So there are a lot of good sets in this game. So I can categorize sets in three parts for Stamina Nightblade. The first one would be your 5-piece set. So you need to use 5 pieces to make use of the whole set. And the second set would be your front bar, back bar set. So you can use it on the front bar or only on the back bar. You can pick it. That is another set. And your third set would be like a support set for Stamina Nightblade. I'll go through all this. Okay, so obviously setup is really simple. Everybody know what they should use on a Stamina Nightblade, but I'm just gonna give you all the options out there that I think is really powerful. The first one is your good old Bone Pirate. Needless to say, this is one of the best set. A lot of resources, a lot of max stamina, a lot of damage, a lot of recovery. One of the best set. Shackle Breaker, a really good set for you if you like to cloak a lot. This set is really good because it gives you a lot of Magicka recovery, stamina recovery, damage as well, so it's overall super good set as well. Shackle Breaker is the second set. And if you want to go defensive, 45 Breast is never bad, especially in non-CP. You can use this and you will be really tanky as a Stamina Nightblade. And if you want to go for a bit more a niche build, a bit more resource, like for example a health recovery build, you can use Willow's Path. It gives you a lot of resources, a lot of Magicka health, stamina recovery, plus 15% for all those resource. So you include that 15% plus another 15% from your passive, you will get 30% increase easily. With potions, it could go up another 20%, so 30 plus 20, 50% increase, which is insane. So those are the 5-piece set. that are really popular. I'll go through now the front bar and the back bar set. So you can categorize those as, for example, the first one would be proc set, another one would be non-proc. So there are proc sets like slots. I don't need to show you, you know what that is. Slots is a proc set. Viper is pretty good as well in non-CP. Something like a Sheer Venom is pretty good as well. Sheer Venom, if you guys don't know that set, I'll just show you really quickly here. Sheer Venom. So when you apply execute ability like a back bar, you use poison injection, you can apply Sheer Venom. It's pretty good as well. It's a back bar proc set. You can use something like Alchemist. Alchemist is decent as well. And there is one more set which is I did a build video on it. It's a really fun set to play. It's not the strongest, but it's Plague Stinger. It's really fun. So you can, the damage is pretty significant as well, but it's static, so it stays at the ground, so you have to fight around that area. So Plague Stinger is a back bar offensive set as well. It's something like Sheer Venom, so it's quite fun. And yeah, those are I think more or less the proc sets that you can use. And the non-proc sets would be like your typical Spriggans, your typical Hunting's Rage, Clever Alchemist, I guess. Tooth Row is pretty good as well. Sench Bite, I think you guys should definitely know what is Sench set. It's a dodge roll set. So you use dodge roll, you increase your weapon crit and your weapon damage. Pretty good set as well. So all these sets are all like non-proc damage sets that gives you extra damage. So that is for the front and back bar sets. And the last one would be support sets. Support sets are kind of rare, I would say, for stamina builds, because most of support sets are mostly for Magicka builds like Leech and all those really nice Wizard Repose sets. But there are some that are really interesting. For trappings, this is one of the new sets from Fangland. You can use this for non-CP, it's pretty good. 9,000 Magicka every 1 minute. It's about close to 300 plus stamina recovery, more or less. And then basically this is a support set because it gives you a lot of stamina back. It's quite a good set in non-CP. And obviously your Eternal Hunt, people call this Eternal Cunt set because it's so irritating. So when you dodge throw, you put down a rune that will deal damage, a good amount of damage, almost 10k, and snare for immobilize for 1.5 seconds. So this is a support set as well on your back bar. And one set is really interesting is Tavas. Tavas is good is because as Nightblade usually you avoid damage by roll dodging or using your shuffle to dodge skills. So Tavas is pretty good because you gain a lot of ultimate, and obviously I'll show you why. Because of this skill, Incap, you can Incap so much more, and you can go defensive with Soul Siphon, a lot of healing for you. So even like something like a Bow Ultimate is really powerful. That's why Tavas is really underrated for Stamina Nightblade on the back bar. And the last one would be my favorite at the moment. Oh man, Trickery. This set here, Daedric Trickery. So you gain random buffs, which is gonna boost you so much. It's so fun. Give this set a try if you have the time to craft it. And the last, so these are all the 3 components: 5-piece sets, front and back bar sets, and support sets. You can mix it around for you to work. So usually 2 5-piece and 1 2-piece monster helm or something like that. And there's a few more 1-piece items that are really good. Master Bow obviously is really powerful. You can use it on your back bar. So it's considered as two items, but it's quite good. And obviously you have your your Master Dagger, your Master Axe, and you do Twin Slash, so Rending Slash, or what is that skill called? Let me check really quickly. Rending Slash or Blood Craze, you can do a lot more damage. I'll just show you super quickly. It's actually it's 16k almost. You can go up even higher. Because I don't have my foot now, we can go up to 17k basically. So yeah, I need to use my foot buff, but I'm cheapskate. I'm just gonna leave it like that. So yeah, these 2 items are pretty good. You can consider to use something like a Maelstrom 2-hand if you use Crit Rush, but I don't really like it. So yeah, it's up to you. And yeah, one more, last one, agility set. 2-piece agility is pretty good as well. So you gain 1.4k maximum stamina for a 2-piece. Pretty decent. So those are the sets. Now I will tell you how to build your own unique build for Stamina Nightblade. Obviously you can go to YouTube, you can just copy paste a build, you can definitely make it work, but how you want to theory craft a build for two-hand and bow. I'll go through two-hand and bow first. So do I have, yeah, okay. So there are a few ways. The first, the most basic one is you can use 2 monster helm, like a Valid Draft or like a Troll King, and then you use 2 5-piece like Shackle Breaker and Bone Pirate. So you put it on your body or Shackle Breaker, and you use Bone Pirate on the weapons, or Shackle Breaker on the weapons, doesn't really matter. Just make sure you have 2 5-piece front and back, and then 2 monster helm. That is the most basic, I would say, really efficient, really good, solid Stamina Nightblade build for two-hand and bow. So that is the first way you can do it. The second way you can do it is you use a 5-piece like a Bone Pirate on your, maybe on your body. You use a 2-piece monster helm. By the way, I highly recommend all Nightblades, Stamina Nightblades, to use monster helm because it's just too good to let go. But you can definitely drop monster helm, but I highly recommend you to use it unless you are running like a ganking build or something different. So then you can leave it out. So you want to use 5-piece body, you use just 2 monster helm. You can use like another 5-piece on the back bar, like you can use I don't know, Eternal Hunt, Sench set on the back bar on your bow, and on your 2-hand bar you can use something like an agility weapon or something like that. So that is another way to build. The third way to build it is you can do front bar and back bar. So you put a 5-piece on your bow bar, you can put Sench, and your front bar you can put something like Spriggans, and then you have 2 more slots left, and you can use agility set 2-piece or even 3-piece with 1 monster helm, or you can use 2 agility set with 2 monster helm. So that is the third way to build. Basically these are all the ways you can mix and match what sets you want. Do you want a support set, or do you want 5-piece set, or do you want a front and back bar set? So do you want to use proc sets or not? So it's really up to you to match. And now it's so good because now you can craft jewelries. So even craftable sets like Shackle Breaker, slots, you can just mix and match. So it's really nice now. Now to the two-hand and dual wield. Obviously bow, two-hand and bow, everybody knows how. That is the most basic one, so it's pretty straightforward. Two-hand and dual wield is really interesting because you can mix and match even more. You can put like you can put 2 offensive set on your dual wield bar. So like you put Spriggans plus, I don't know, Spriggans plus Hunting Reach on your front bar, and then back bar you can put just 1 piece or something like that. Could be really, really interesting. But for example, like what I built is here is pretty straightforward. Daedric Trickery, a support set on the back bar. So I have only Daedric Trickery procced on the back bar. So every 10 seconds I go back to the back bar to obtain. Every 20 seconds I go back to the back bar to obtain this buff. It's pretty straightforward. And I use a 5-piece set, Spriggans, for example, on a jewelry, and 2-piece on the body. And I use 2 master daggers. That is one of the way you can build it with 2 monster helm. Yeah, it's all about mix and match. Like two-hand and bow is more or less the same, but the only difference is I can highly recommend you to use heavy armor on a dual wield setup, because the first thing is you are not as this is so noisy. Let me just reduce my audio. Alright, so the thing is you're not so mobile compared to a bow setup, because bow setup you can just go on your back bar, you vigor dot throw, and then go into cloak, and you are so fast you can just run away. For a two-hand dual wield build, you need to rely a lot more on your shade. So you can't just get in and get out really, really quickly, you know. So I highly recommend you to use heavy armor. Give it a try for a dual wield setup. You can definitely be a lot more your sustain is, I would say, more or less the same, but you are a lot more tankier and you receive a lot more healing. So that is really, really good, especially when you pair it up with a Troll King. And what else are important? So those those are the methods how you set up your builds. The important thing are traits. So what traits do you need to use? For medium armor build, just go 7 impenetrable. You can never go wrong with that. You can use 1 or 2 well fitted, but I highly recommend you to use 7 impenetrable because you have your CP, which reduces your dot throw by a significant amount, and you have your passive from medium armor, so it's just overkill. So you can see, where is it? Ability. Yeah, reduce the cost of dot throw by I only have 2 medium armor, so it's only 8%, but if you have 6 medium, 1 heavy, you can reduce it by 24%. Plus you have cost reduction for a medium armor, 2% for each medium armor, so you can reduce that by about 12% if you run 6 medium, 1 heavy setup. So you don't need to use, in my opinion, you don't need well fitted, you just need more impenetrable just to reduce the crit damage. For heavy armor, however, I highly recommend you to use 1 or 2 well fitted, at least 1 minimum, but recommendable you use 2 well fitted, so you can your dot throw is a lot more cheaper. And what I do is I usually make sure I use 1 or 2 cost reduction. If you only use 1, I highly recommend you to change your trait of your jewelry to infuse, so you increase that by 324, the reduction of stamina cost, because like I mentioned earlier, medium armor skills from medium armor are a lot more cheaper, 12% more cheaper than heavy armor. So you somehow need to, you are tanky on heavy armor, that is obvious, but you need to reduce the cost of your skills. So I use infused cost reduction, 1 piece jewelry. Yeah, and those are the traits for the armor. For the jewelry, either robust or infused, both are really good. Nothing special, you can just mix it around. The weapons, if you're using a dual wield weapon, obviously you need to use your main bar, Nernhorn, back bar, sharpen or precise. That is the best traits you can use. And for example, if you're using on your back bar, you can use infuse, you can use defending, you can, maybe not defending, I don't think it's that good. You use infuse or powered, usually it's the best. I have this on sharpen because I want to maybe use it on other characters, so I just put it on sharpen at the moment. For example, if you're running a bow, I definitely recommend you to use infuse with weapon damage enchantment, would be really nice, or something like, do I have it powered? Yeah, powered would be really nice as well, especially when you go into your back bar, you dot throw, vigor, cloak, you get extra healing, 9%. That is a lot, a really significant amount, 9%. So if you're using a 2-hand, okay, yeah, most important thing, if you're using a 2-hand here, like this, you need to use Nernhorn if you're using medium armor. Nernhorn is the best for medium armor because you push your weapon damage furthermore with medium armor, 12% more. If you're using a heavy armor with two-hand weapons, you could use a sharpen. It would do more damage than Nernhorn for sure. But you lose out on your healing a bit, so it's really up to you. Do you want to do more damage with a bit less healing, or do you want a little bit more healing with a little bit less damage? It's a trade-off. But if you're using medium armor, Nernhorn and sharpen will do almost the same damage. Sharpen slightly a bit more. So yeah, it's up to you. Either you're medium or heavy, you decide. Medium, make sure it's Nernhorn. Heavy, you can use both. Both are really good. So those are for the traits. Yeah, weapon choice, yeah, that is really important. So do you want, when I mean weapon choice, do you want to use an axe, sword, or dagger, or Mao? In my opinion, Mao is not that good, because when you're fighting a sorcerer, you will lose out a lot. So usually I will try to avoid Mao, but it's a personal preference. If you're fighting a lot of heavy armor, Mao is really nice. But if not, Mao is not that good, because you have a lot of penetration as a Nightblade. Instantly you can apply major fracture, so that is about 5k plus another 3k from your weapons and stuff like that. Usually it's up to 8k 9k, so I don't think Mao is that good in my opinion. Axe is good if you're using a dot build. It depends. Do you focus more on burst, or do you focus more on bleed, killing your opponent wearing him down. If you like the wearing him down playstyle, X is definitely better because the bleed, there's no cooldown on the bleed. So if you can proc the bleed all the time, there's an 18% chance to proc the bleed with melee skills. So X is good in that way if you're using a dot build or something like that. If you're using kind of like a bursty Nightblade build, definitely go for a sword. Sword is really powerful. And for daggers is really good in non-CP because the crit, you have less crit in non-CP, so the crit will give you more damage and more healing. So you get more crit heals and more damage. So I like daggers in non-CP, but definitely you could go for axe or you could go for sword in non-CP. Both will work really well as well. Okay, so those are all the builds. Yeah, I need to cover one last small topic about large scale PvP, because now I all the things I'm talking about is all small scale or solo PvP. For large scale PvP, there are two jobs available for Nightblades. The first one is your rapids, because as a Nightblade, especially if you are a wood elf, you can have a lot of recovery, like close to 5k or something like that. It's insane. For 5k you can achieve that. So you can be a rapids bot with that, and you help with fear. In the battle, in the large scale PvP, you just go in fear, rapids, drop caltrops, and that's all. That is your first job. The second job you can do is your typical DPS job. You put a lot of damage weapons, damage setup, and then you just go into steel tornado, fear, something like that. So that is your damage Nightblade playstyle. So those are the two playstyles that you can use in a large scale PvP or so-called Zerg PvP. Okay, now I covered the builds already. I'm gonna go through all the there's the potions, poison, and stuff like that. So potions, I think the best potion you can use is Tri-Stat potion. This is hands down the best potion you can use, especially if you're running a health recovery set like Troll King, or because you need cloak, you need a lot of magicka for cloaking. So Tri-Stat is the best potion. There are potions like lingering health is good in non-CP, it's pretty sweet. There are some speed potions for you to use, like this one when you're using a ganking build. You can use expedition, brutality, and stamina. This is a decent potion for like a, you know, those snipe into what skill do you call that? Whoa. Snipe into bombard, yeah. So you can use that as well. That would be nice. And yeah, weapon power is just for PvE. So that's it, huh? I'm just gonna tap making a video. Okay. Now. So those are the potions. The poisons are more or less the same. I like to use double dot poisons, or you could use cost increase poisons. It's really powerful in non-CP as well. And this escapist poison is quite sweet as well. You can it's like a sustain poison. So you immobilize the target. You gain 2.4 seconds immune to knockback, immune to CC, and then the best part is for 3.5 seconds you obtain you restore 238 stamina per second. That is insane. That is about 476 stamina recovery for 3.5 seconds, and you increase their enemy cost. So this escapist potion could be quite interesting, especially on a back bar. And yeah, and then you can use something like a double dot poison with that increase and plus increase your victim's stamina ability, which is quite sweet as well. So those are the poisons I can recommend you to use. There is one more poison I think I missed out. Do I still have it? Yeah, this one. This drains stamina poison is good because it, like I mentioned earlier, it increases restore some of your stamina, and then it applies major fracture. Stamina Nightblade has major fracture, but they don't have minor fracture. So when you plus minor and major together, it's going to be a lot more sweeter. Okay, now to the race. Yeah, race is a really subjective topic. For me, I always like to be a cat. It's just I don't know, RP purpose or what. I like the crit. I just like how it feels, you know, to me. A Khajiit cat. That's the most typical build you can use. Wood Elf is super good as well. A lot of resource gain. Definitely, if you want to put away my bias towards Khajiit, definitely Wood Elf would be better. Something like you can never go wrong with what do you call that? Red Guard. Red Guard is really good. Orc is decent as well. Basically, all the stamina characters are mostly really good. But I think Red Guard, Wood Elf, and Khajiit would be the top tiers. Then other would be second tier. Even Argonian could work, to be honest. Yeah, because you know why? Argonian, when you the thing about Argonian is you gain so much resource back, and you can cloak so much more. When you use a potion, you instantly boost up all your stamina. You can cloak so much more, and the healing receive and healing done from Argonian passive is really sweet, because as a Nightblade, the biggest problem is your healing is not strong enough. So with Argonian, that you have so much more health as well. So it's a tanky Nightblade if you are an Argonian. Now to the third part, which is Mundus stones. I highly recommend only 2 Mundus stones for you to use. There's another 3 more which is quite niche, but it's up to you. So what I recommend you to use is Serpent. Serpent is basically the one that gives you stamina recovery, and Warrior is the one that gives you weapon damage. So these 2 are the best, Serpent and Warrior. If you're using a ganking build, you can use Thief and Shadow only on a ganking build. Other than that, do not use these 2 Mundus stone. And the third one, which is interesting Mundus stone, is Ritual Mundus stone. Ritual Mundus stone is a Mundus stone that is really underrated because it gives you 10% increased healing. So that is without any divines pieces. 10% is quite significant, to be honest. A lot of people wouldn't bother with Ritual Mundus stone, but I can recommend that on a Stamina Nightblade. If your resource is good enough, your damage is good enough, I can highly recommend Ritual Mundus stone. And yeah, that's about it for the Mundus. And for the Foodbuff, there are only 3 food I can recommend to you to use. The Tri-Stat food is obviously quite good. Just gives you a lot of max stats. It's obviously quite nice, but I think the drinks are the one that you should consider more. Dubious is always good because it gives you health, stamina and stamina recovery, but Atrium Takeaway Broth is an upgrade to Dubious. If you have the money to afford it, it's 4k plus per drink. You use it because it gives you a little bit more health, and let me check. Stamina is 319 stamina is more or less the same. 300 and a little bit more health, a little bit more stamina, and extra health recovery bonus. So this drink is pretty good as well. Where you can get it, you have to fish in Atrium, the map of Atrium. You have to fish there for about 2 and 3 hours, then you can obtain it, or you can just buy the drink. So it's a little bit costly because the material is a little bit hard to get, but it's definitely worth it to use. I think this is one of the best in-slot drinks for all stamina characters. So now I covered the second part to the third part, which is the skill setup. Oh yeah. So let me go to a 2-hand and bow setup for now. So for 2-hand and bow setup, I think it's pretty straightforward. You need your execute usually. Most likely you need your execute. To compare that, there are 2 executes for you to choose. The first one would be Killer's Blade. The second one will be Reverse Slice. What are the difference? Not much, to be honest. Reverse Slice costs a bit more. Reverse Slice has a better threshold. It's 50% and then starts increasing your damage. But Killer's Blade is disease damage. So with Killer's Blade you can apply major defile, which is pretty sweet. And when you kill someone with Killer's Blade, you heal yourself for 21% of the max health. So that is really sweet as well. So it's really up to you. If you are more of a ganking setup, Killer's Blade is definitely 100% better. If you just want overall good damage and AoE and you don't want to compromise when you're executing more than 25%, you can just go for reverse slice. Reverse slice, you need to use a two-hand. Killer's Blade, you can use it on every weapons, even a bow, but that would be really stupid. The second one is Surprise Attack, your bread and butter DPS skill, one of the best DPS skill in the game, for PvP obviously. Ambush or Get Close. You can drop Ambush, but I highly recommend you to use Ambush, especially when you're fighting Nightblade, you're fighting Sorcerers, you need a Get Close to fight them for sure. Fear is for you to CC your opponent, especially the blocking targets. Fear is really good. Rally is your burst heal. If you're using a heavy armor setup, you could change Rally to forward momentum, but if you're using medium, Rally is just 100% better. In cap, or needless to say, in cap is the best ultimate. You can use Berserk Strike as well. Onslaught, sorry, is the morph, which is okay, but I think forget about it. Just use in cap. Unless you're playing in a group, then you could definitely use Stormbreaker as well, which is a AoE CC. On your back bar, Poison Injection is pretty good. Shuffle is pretty good. I highly recommend you to use Shuffle. Relentless Focus is really good as well. You can do something like you can put Relentless Focus on your back bar, on your front bar, so you drop Execute. That would be quite sweet as well. Vigor is a must-have. Cloak, I think, is a must-have as well, even though there's slots around. And your ultimate, there are about a few ultimates that are pretty good. Ballista is really powerful because it deals so much damage. Unbuff is about 4.48k physical damage. Unbuff. If I buffed up and used my foot, it would be insane, the damage. But I don't know, 55k easily. And the best part about this Ballista is when you do light attack on your bow bar, a lot of people don't know this, you can increase the damage of your bow abilities. So dealing damage with light or heavy attacks increases the damage of your bow ability by 5% for 5 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. You can increase the damage of your bow abilities by 25% by doing 5 light attack. So you can light attack, Poison Injection, light attack, Relentless Focus, and then light attack, use Ballista, and then it increases by 15% already. So that is really powerful. Yeah, and then there are ultimates like defensive ultimates like Soul Siphon is really good as well, or you can use something like Werewolf ultimate for you to obtain more stamina recovery on the back bar. That would be sweet as well. So those are the ultimate you can use. Now optional skills. This is just the basic setup, okay? Or for a two-hand and bow. Optional skills are Leeching Strikes. For non-CP, it's really good for your sustain. It gives you more healing as well when you do light attack, which is pretty good. And obviously your Shadow Image is just so good. I highly recommend you to use Shadow Image. What else? You have your Mark. If you are fighting a Nightblade and you are just so irritating, he's cloaking way too much, you can slot Mark. Mark is really good. I think that's about it for the skills. Yeah, rearming traps is okay-ish, but they nerfed it already, the damage, so it's, in my opinion, it's not that good anymore. Yeah, so those are the skills you can use for twin and bow. Now to the a dual view two-hand setup. The skills you can use are, it's more or less the same. The front bar, you got your in-cap, you got your fear, you got your ambush, you got your suppress attack. Those skills are all the same. But since you're using a dual setup, you want to use Blood Craze, and you can drop Killer's Blade, you can drop Execute, but yeah, it really depends. Usually I drop Execute and I put Relentless Focus on the front bar, because the main reason why is because as a dual wheel build, you can use Nirnhorn plus Sharpen, which gives more damage compared to two-hand setup. So I like to proc this insanely high damage Relentless Focus on the front bar. That is how I like to do it. And on the back bar, you can definitely, if you like, you can use Execute as well. It's pretty awesome. You can just, since your back bar is a two-hand bar, so your Relentless Focus on your back bar still deals quite a good amount of damage. So on the back bar, on the two-hand bar, you need your Rally obviously. Since we don't have Shuffle anymore, so you need your Double Take. And this is your flex spot. You can put Shadow Image, you can put Mark, you can put different skills, up to you. And you need your Vigor, your Cloak, and your I prefer to use Soul Siphon as a healing ultimate, a defensive ultimate. You could use something like Wheels of Blades would be quite nice as well. So it's yeah, it's up to you. So those are the skills. What else? For for dual wheel setup, you can use something like Whirlwind as well. If you're playing in a group, would be really good. But just for God's sake, don't use the dual wheel ultimate. It's just way too weak. The damage is too low, the healing is too low as well. I don't think it's good at all, this ultimate, and it costs 150 ultimate. So if you can avoid using this skill. In a raid, you can use Blade Cloak to avoid AoE damage. That would be quite good as well. So okay, yeah, that's it for the skills. I could miss out 1 or 2 skills that you think would be good. You can just list them in the comment and let me know, but this is what I like to use, the skills that I like to use. Now did I execute? Yeah, I think I covered everything already. Nothing left. Okay, now to combat tactics. So this is how you fight people. I'm not gonna show you the two-hand. I think I'm gonna show you the bow setup because that's what people usually use. Maybe I'll show you the dual wheel setup later, but now let me just go into a simple bow setup. So what you want to use is, let me just use a food to drink. So you want to make sure your rally is up, so you get your major brutality up, and then you want to always have your shuffle up, shuffle or double take, so you get your evasion. And if you are using relentless focus, make sure your relentless focus is up as well. So you basically make sure the most important buff is rally, second most important is shuffle, and then third is relentless focus, and then fourth is something like leeching strikes. That is your buff priority. So you need to make sure you know which buff is up. Okay, now how you want to engage people? Yeah, there's another buff that is shade as well. So if you're fighting multiple opponents, you can put down shade beforehand as well. That is really important. Now how you want to engage your opponent? There are a few ways. You can do light attack into bow. So you proc your infused trait on your bow, and then you go into cloak, and then if you can go into heavy attack into surprise attack, or gap close into surprise attack or ambush. Ambush into surprise attack, or ambush into in-cap if you have it. So that is the basic one. So if you want to surprise your opponent, you think you can burst them down, they are 20k HP sorcerer without any shields on, you just go into cloak, go heavy attack, in-cap, one surprise attack into execute. That is usually the way you can burst people down. The second way is you buff up like usual. You go into cloak, you don't do heavy attack, you cloak, you ambush in, so your cloak is still up, and then you do in-cap. My in-cap is not ready, so you do cloak, you surprise attack in, you don't do light attack, you don't do anything, you just go straight into in-cap, and then straight into surprise attack, and then into execute. That is another way to burst people down. Later I'll show you in a video a little bit of a ganking way, ganking video, how to kill off squishy opponents. And yeah, that is how you engage your enemy. So there's a small difference. This is the bow setup. For dual wheel setup, I'll show you anyways. I think it is quite important because I just love dual wheel now. So there are a few ways as well. You can always do cloak, ambush into in-cap. That could always work. And you do your rending afterwards. Or you could do some, if you don't have in-cap up, you can do a cloak into heavy attack and do rending. Wait, oh, I didn't press rending, my bad. Let me cloak again, heavy attack into rending, and then surprise attack, and then when your in-cap is up, in-cap them. Or you can fear them afterwards, then only in-cap. So that is quite important as well. Another thing that is really important is your, let me just throw my skills down, your relentless focus. So if you are under a lot of pressure, okay, you can just forget about Relentless Focus buff. But if you have it up, you should have it up on all times. It is a really good buff, good burst for Stamina Nightblade. So you can always go in. If you're fighting someone good, they won't die away. You incap and they still survive. Okay, they are dodging a lot. So you have your Spectral Bow up. You see now there's a cooldown, 5 seconds. Now it's 0. Okay, so you can reapply it and you still have the bow. You can reapply it and it still will bring it. The proc is still there. You can use it again and then you still have the proc. That's why the new version of Relentless Focus is so good, the Spectral Bow. So how you want to use Spectral Bow? Let's say you do a lot of light attacks today, you are fighting your enemy and it's up, okay? Let's say it's up. There are a few ways you can do into Cloak, Heavy Attack, Relentless into Relentless, then your Cloak will break after you shoot the Relentless, straight go into Incap. Or another way is you can go into, if your opponent is blocking a lot, you can go into Fear and then Relentless, and then you go into your Surprise Attack or your Incap, something like that. That could work as well. So it really depends on whether your enemy is blocking or not. If they're not blocking, you can use your Incap to CC them into Relentless. Why you want to use your Incap first to CC them? Because you increase your damage by 20%. So your damage against them by 20%. So your Relentless Focus will get a 20% damage increase. Why? Another thing is why you want to go into Cloak, Ambush into Relentless is because Ambush will increase your next damage. Oh shit, they actually change it. Now it's only light attack. Yeah, okay, then it's not a big deal. Because Ambush used to empower your next skill by 20%, but now it's only light attack by 20%. So actually now you want to light attack, then only shoot the bow. Okay. Yeah, so that is how you use your Relentless. It's just make sure your opponent is not blocking or not dodging your Relentless, because it feels bad when they dodge your Relentless or they just they block it, because the damage will then get reduced significantly. So that is how you engage your enemy. Now yeah, I did the skill rotation already as well. I think I actually covered the skill rotations as well, skill usage. About, yeah, skill usage, I think most of it I covered already. The small thing I think most of you already know about Shade is you can use Shade at the corner and then you quickly move away and then you jump downhill, and then when they follow you down you can use it back. That is one of the typical way to get away from trouble. Or if you're under a lot of pressure, they're breaking your cloak a lot, you can't cloak, you just use the Shade, you just run away and then you just go back down. That is another way as well you can use. But obviously if you use it on line of sight, that will be definitely significantly better. If you use it on high ground and low ground, that will be even better, so they can't come back up to chase you. So those are the typical Shade usage method. And ultimate. So Incap is a good skill because it CC your enemy, so it applies damage and CC enemy and debuff your enemy, so it's all in one. That's why you always want to make sure your enemy don't see your Incap coming. You want to, if possible, cloak before you go into your ambush Incap or your heavy attack Incap. But if you don't have the magic card to cloak, you can always just do some surprise attack for a bit, and then they're gonna block or they're gonna dodge. The moment they try to dodge or try to block, you fear them, then only you Incap. That is another way to make sure your Incap damage will go through and hard to your opponent. Yeah, so skills that you want to CC your opponent before using. If they're blocking, you want to fear them, then Incap. If they're not blocking, you want to CC them with Incap and then Spectral Bow. So make sure you get that down. Yeah, I think that's about it. Ultimate usage, I mentioned. Why is it running so slow? Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Now, yeah, for the defensive ultimate, like bow ultimate I mentioned earlier, if possible, I'm gonna go through this bow setup. For a bow ultimate, you want to do a few light attacks before you go into bow ultimate. Then if they are far away, if let's say your bow ultimate is down, if they are far away, go into incap, into ambush, into fear. So you want to fear them while the bow ultimate is hitting them. The second method is you don't go too far away from your enemy. You use bow ultimate in front of their face, straight go into back bar, your 2N bar, fear them instantly, and then go into damage. So that is how you use bow ultimate. And your defensive ultimate, like Wheels of Blade or something like Soul Siphon, you can just use it when you're under pressure. That's really simple. Alright, so those are for the skill usage and rotation. Now to animation cancelling. Yeah. Let's go through the basics first. Light attack skill. Light attack skill. You can light attack skill into bash. You only do light attack skill into bash when you're executing people. Light attack skill bash. Oh shit, I totally messed that up. Light attack skill bash. Light attack skill bash. Light attack skill bash. Only when you're executing people, you use bash because it costs too much stamina if you're not using a sword and board. So make sure you don't use bash when they're high HP, only when during the execute phase. Second animation cancelling is heavy attack skill. So heavy attack into skill. You don't need to charge it the whole thing. When you see the hands are going behind already, then you can start using your skill like now. That is a bit slow. You just need to make sure you know it. Like now, yeah, it's a bit slow as well, so something like that. Yeah, so you don't need to fully charge the heavy attack. You can let it go when it's about 70% or 60% done. Same thing apply to Dovil as well. Come on, let me swap my weapon. Yeah, same thing apply to Dovil as well. I'll show you. So you don't need to charge it like that, it's so slow, right? You can, usually you want to use the skill, usually it's Stranding Slash if you're using a Dovil, so you want to charge it halfway, like that, halfway, like that. So it do 2 instances of damage. You can see 2 instances of damage and then you go into Stranding Slash. So that is how you heavy attack animation cancel. The third animation cancel is weapon swap animation cancel. It's really important, like you can light attack skill or light attack into vigor into weapon swap, like skill into weapon swap. Something you can animation cancel it as well, like skill into weapon swap, something like that. Or you can like ultimate into weapon swap and then straight go offensive. That is another way to animation cancel skills. Or you could, like I showed you just now, dodge throw animation cancel. This is most important is for vigor. So you're under a lot of pressure now, okay, you're running away, you vigor dodge throw, go into cloak. You need to master this combo, vigor dodge throw into cloak. This is the most important combo for running away from Zergs, from any enemy for stamina Nightblade. You need to master this. There are a lot of skills you can animation cancel as well. Vigor is the most important one. You can you can weapon swap animation cancel, or you can dodge throw animation cancel. It's really up to you. Sometimes I like to if for example my relentless focus on my back is on my back bar, I like to shoot my, let me just get this down first. You can always shoot your bow and then you weapon swap, so you can do a lot of damage instantly. Yeah, so that is dodge throw animation cancel. Yeah, I think those are all the animation cancelling you can use. It's nothing special, you just need to master the timing, and yeah, just make sure you're comfortable with it, that's all. Especially the heavy attack, just make sure you know when to cancel your heavy attack. Now to the last part before I go into the gameplay is the resource management. Okay, so it's different, like DK has a different way of managing their resources. Nightblade has a different way as well. For Nightblade, there's a phase, I like to call it a resting phase and a fighting phase. For a fighting phase, you are fighting, okay, you are spending all your resources, you're going crazy, you're just fighting, you know, like cloaking, you're doing like that. So you're draining your resources a lot. During the fighting phase, the only way you can gain back your resources is by not blocking a lot and do include heavy attack in between. So that is one of the methods you can make sure you have a good resource management. However, if you're under a lot of pressure, you can't do a lot of heavy attacks during the fighting phase, you can always use shade, go back to the shade. Since as the Nightblade we have super high recovery, we always have 2-3k, sometimes even 3.5k, 4k recovery. So you can just go away, then you just get out from the fight with a shade, or you just get out with cloak away, and then you give your time 2 or 3 seconds to get back your resources. That is what I call a resting phase. While you get back your resources, you buff up again. So if your buffs are all down, you can just buff up really quickly and then go in again. Put down your shade or something that you need, your buffs, and then go in again. So those are the way to play a stamina Nightblade. Yeah, I think that's about it for the resource management. There's nothing much to add because it's always about going in hard, try to kill your opponent, try to proc your spectral bow, and then if you can't kill them, you just get back out again. If you're using a bow, you get back some distance away from them again, line of sight a bit, shoot some poison injections, get your spectral bow up again, then go in again with in-cap. So it's always about your in-cap rotation. If your in-cap is up, you can try to go offensive. Your in-cap is down, don't push it too hard. Play around with them a bit. Unless I'm talking about good players now, I'm not talking about bad players. Of course, if you're fighting bad players, you can just go ham, boom, 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 they'll just die because you're a Nightblade. But if you're fighting good players, you need to think twice, especially when they're using slots. Then you just can't go in like crazy because you're gonna die to slots. You're gonna break your cloak and everything, so you have to think twice before going in. So that is what I can recommend. There's the last one that is important. It's not really resource management, but it's like how you engage people. There's a new method now for Nightblade. So you're fighting 3 players. They do a lot of damage, but they are defensively not strong. Okay, they don't block a lot. Okay, they don't shoot up a lot, something like that. So there's a method you can go in like crazy. I know this sounds super crazy, but you use your ultimate Soul Siphon. You get the 4 seconds healing with major buffs, major vitality buff. Then you go into offense while you have that 4 second ready with vigor up. And then I know you don't have your in-cap. It's a bit hard to kill people, but you rely on something like a spectral bow. So you try to get spectral bow up. You go in, you use your relentless, and then you get the healing 4 second big Q, and then you fight them. That is another method to engage people. I totally forgot to mention. I did this a few times already in Battlegrounds against especially slot players because I know I'm gonna die if I don't use the ultimate. So I use it, I engage, they drop all their things on me, they're not defending themselves, I kill one, I get out again with shade, something like that. That is another method you can do. Okay, so those are all the combat tactics. I covered most of the part already. Now I'll throw in some videos and then I'll go through with the commentary. Okay, so in this first clip, I'm playing in non-CP with my heavy armor build, Dual 2-hand build. So I'm fighting a few Templars. The first Templar came, I drop my shade, do an in-cap into rending slash, light attack, surprise attack, light attack, surprise attack again. He CC'd me, I go back in again, heavy attack into rending again, surprise attack again with my light attack. I did a small mistake here. I didn't fully buffed up myself. That's a small problem. Now I vigor dot throw away from the ground AoE. Now I fully buffed up myself with all the buffs. Go back in on that guy, on the first Templar, because I know his resources is low. The problem is there's a Nova on the ground now, so I need to get out. If you look properly, that my spectral bow is ready, so I can use that. So I go in, ambush in, rending slash, and then I didn't use my spectral bow because it was on cool. I have to refresh it, the skill. So I use another heavy attack into spectral bow. He blocked it. Unfortunately, I got a beam on me. Got a lot of skills on me, so I need to get out. Cloak, and then I buffed up again. CC break or that spear. I need to line of sight because my resource is really low now. So need to try to get some heavy attack in. Got a rending slash down. I got a potion ready, so I go full offensive and then in-cap and finish that guy while I'll use my potion to heal up myself. So there are a lot of methods you can go defensive into offensive, especially that one. And the That guy, I just use an in-cap combo to kill him while he's going full offensive on me, and the last guy I use my rending slash into surprise attack and he's dead. Yeah, so that's a really simple fight. I just make sure I use the timing of my potions and my spectral bow to kill off enemy really efficiently. Okay, so in this second fight, I put down a siege and I draw attention away from the Zerg because I can't fight 8-9 people on the resource. So I just do a cloak, heavy attack into in-cap combo, light attack, surprise attack, and then that guy is dead. I go back in, try to chase this guy, but I then see, oh my god, 10 people over there. I need to get the hell out of here because there's no way I can fight 10 people even in CP campaign. So I show myself at this corner here, so I just kind of lure them away. This is how you do a 1vx. Come to me guys, put down my shit. Okay, I break free of that now, do a dodge throw, dodge some skills, cloak, heavy attack into in-cap, light attack, surprise attack into rending slash, you dodge it, and then he streak away. Then I got CC'd by a lot of enemy. I use a potion, dodge throw vigor, get off. Okay, now I'm fully buffed. I'm buffing up myself again. This is like my resting phase. Put down a shade, go dodge again, cloak, and then I go on the guy behind. Ambush in cap, light attack, surprise attack, rending slash, light attack, surprise attack, he's dead. It's a bit laggy in this clip if you notice, so maybe that's the reason why he break free really slowly, or maybe he's just a scrub, I don't know. So that guy is resting now. I bash him. It's really laggy. That's why I'm doing like a lot of stupid light attacks because my skills are not connecting. Dodge throw away from that leech ground AoE. Now in cap into both spectral bow because my spectral bow was ready. This guy has 30k HP, so it's a bit hard to kill him, but he's not healing up a lot, so I'm just going on him full aggressive. Okay, need to heal up, do a dodge throw, vigor, cloak, ambush in, do a rending slash, fear, like usual, just rotate all my skills and then surprise attack, he's dead. Just gonna in-cap, just pop it on this guy. This guy is really easy. So the most important thing is I just lure these 3-4 guys away from the big group and then just try to pick them off. Now I'm just trying to get my spectral bow ready, rending slash. Okay, spectral bow is ready, fear into spectral bow, and then yes, light attack, surprise attack, and then he's dead. In this third clip, I'm using my Stinky Kitty build, so it's the back bar Plague Stinger. So what I want to do now is I want to trigger them. I want to make use of this river. So what better to trigger them with a good old siege, make it loud and clear that say I'm here. So I'm do the poison injection on this guy. Okay, in-cap here, ambush him. He's not shooting up properly, so I in-cap straight into surprise attack. He's dead. My friend is coming back here to surprise attack, light attack, surprise attack, try to execute, and then he's dead. This another guy coming. Got CC, I feared him away, ambush this guy, I try to kill the healer's behind here, my friend. Rune cage him on the river and he's dead. Easy peasy, 9 people, we are killing them all because of one river. And then another guy is dead, so 3 more left. So my friend can streak, so he will go over there first. I'm just covering him with a lot of like poison injection light attack. When he's over there, I do a vigor, then I go over there with him, try to focus this guy first. My bow ultimate, I got beam here, so what I did is I changed to my back bar. I quickly use my rally heal up, and then go back offensive again. That guy died to my friend's meteor combo, and this last guy, this fight was so quick, man. It happened so fast. I couldn't even commit it. The last 2 guys, I just used my combo. My friend just go full offensive, and they just died. Okay, so in this fourth clip, I'm gonna showcase how I use shade. I put down a shade. I go into this guy with a nice mount, ambush in, rending slash. He dropped down from the mount. I just surprise attack, and then he's dead. Now I'm under a lot of pressure, a lot of guys are on my ass. Just use the shit, get some distance away. So this is a really typical method to get away from enemy using shit. Now I'm getting a lot of pressure. Holy shit. The amount of curse, the amount of beam slots is on me as well, with the purifying on me as well. So I put a shit and I jump down. Use vigor, dodge throw, cloak away, hide behind this tree. Okay, there are like 4 or 5 people on me now. I do a dodge throw into my shade range, go back to my shade. Now I don't know what to do. It's like so many people, I'm just trying to run away now. I'm not thinking about going offensive at all, just full defensive. Get to this line of sight tree here. Okay, I'm still in cloak, jump up here, and I go down, I put a shade here, and then I just drop all the way down. So I know they got slots, they got too many enemies on me, so I need to play full defensive. Now they're all on me now, I use my healing ulti, I go back up. I got CC'd while I go up. And then I'm just looking, okay, anyone down there left? Okay, there's one guy left. I put a shit on top, go back down really quickly. Yeah, this guy is the guy that is marking me, so I need to kill him. Rending slash, he's running away to his friends, but his friends already left him. So he's finished dodge trolling 3 times with this, so I just pop my in-cap. and surprise attack, finish him off. So that is a really good showcase of how you use shade to get out from so much enemy with slots and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna speed up this video. I'm gonna show you the second part where I make use of the breach. So I just make use of the river. Again, I got marked like usual with curse on me and purifying on me as well. This time no slots, thank god. Use my vigor, get up here. Okay, now I'm just doing heavy attack into rending slash. There are so many. I got beam again. I need to use my ultimate. Pop my ultimate. Animation cancel it with the block. Put a shade. Now I need to get out. These guys are really mad though. I need to line of sight. Do a vigor, line of sight here. I'm just waiting for them to come down. Okay, now they are down here. First thing I'm gonna do is rending slash on that guy. I got CC'd. Now I'm under so much pressure again. So I need to take cover behind this choke point here. Put down my shade. The first guy is here, so one guy dropped me to the river. I cap this guy. I do red. I'm just buffing up now. I'm taking too much damage. I go back to my shade. That guy died to the slaughterfish. Easy peasy. Okay, so I know there's only 2 guys left because one guy ran away. I think he got fed up with me just dodging. So now I just need to finish these 2 guys down. These guys are having a lot of damage. I'm getting beam again. I need to cloak that beam away. Do vigor. I'm just trying to separate them because when they are 2 together, they're doing too much damage even when I'm using heavy armor, because I'm in non-CB campaign, so I take a lot of damage. The guy is resting. I should have interrupted him, but I took a risk and tried to kill this guy. Wasn't successful. He got the rest up. It's fine. I do a fear. Now I go back to the choke point again. Try to separate them again because when they're all together, they are stronger. Now the first guy came in with 50% HP. Now I do rending slash with the surprise attack, quickly kill him. That guy dropped into the river and he died. So now there's only a sorcerer left. What he ran away like usual. So the most important thing is I'm a Khajiit with a heavy armor. It's not that fast, but I have well fitted, so I just chase him with sprint, with double take, and he's sprinting. He's trying to sneak. Oh man, you're not gonna stick. I'm a Khajiit, man, I can see you. So I'm just gonna go in cap, since he used all his stamina running away, so he got no stamina left to break free, so I just kill him off. Easy peasy. Okay, so in this clip, I'm gonna show you a bit of a semi-ganking playstyle. So what I did is I cloak first, do a heavy attack into in cap, Salim proc. Oh, I didn't even execute and he's dead already. So what I'm using in this clip is really simple. Master Bow on the back bar. Front bar I'm using a Alessium 2-hand, Bone Pirate 5-piece, and 2 Celine with 3 agility. A simple setup but really efficient. High damage, high resource gain. Resource sustain. So there's one guy, I do a heavy attack into poison injection, ambush in, surprise attack, boom, he's dead. Simple as that. So there's another guy coming. I almost missed him, so he's so far away, so I'm not gonna poison injection. I'm just gonna ambush him, and then in cap, he's dead as well. Easy peasy. So since I am using Master Bow, so I always use poison injection if possible. Now I need to break free. There's 2 guys now, one Magical Nightblade. He's breaking my cloak, so I cloak again. He broke my cloak again. I do a Vigor dot throw again, buffed up. Do a new Vigor dot throw, cloak again. Now I need to get my major buff, buffed up. I walk into him while I'm using poison injection, so I can in-cap him straight in the face. That's why I can kill that guy really quickly. Now this guy used the restore ulti, so I'm just gonna try to get my in-cap ready, just burning his resource down. Do light attack, surprise attack, poison injection now. Before I go into cloak, heavy attack, in-cap, boom, he's dead. So you always need to make sure if you're using Master Bow, if possible, before you use your in-cap, use your poison injection so you get the bonus from Master Bow. As for this last clip, I start off with bullying this 67 CP guy. He was picking up his rune. Ah man, I feel a bit bad now watching this clip. So I just kill him, fear, light attack, surprise attack, light attack, surprise attack, and then he's just dead. Now I see 3 guys on mounts, so I drop a shade. Kinda need to buff up, go behind this tree, buff up a bit, do a cloak, trying to go into my combo, but I got a meteor on my face, so that totally cancelled my combo. I have to block while I'm in cloak. Now these guys are really angry. You can see they're using a lot of skills, so I just pop my defensive ultimate, try to go offensive, but after 4 seconds with no success because that guy is kinda shooting up properly, I guess. So I just go behind line of sight again. Try to buff up again. My resource is really low, so I need to make a bit of distance away from these guys, but I know these guys will chase me because I don't know, they just feel like they're really try hard. So I show myself. There are two choices now. I can either go inside the tower, or I go around this stairs area to fight them. The stairs area is a bit nearer, so I decided, okay, I'm just gonna go over this area. I dropped down a shade behind. Maybe I could use it. Nope, couldn't use it because it's too far away now. So I just get to this ledge over here. Before I go over, I put a shade. Most important thing, just make sure you have a shade down. So okay, there's like four guys I think. So I see one guy over here, I try to jump down, totally failed my jump like a scrub. At least I got a shade, I can come back up again. So I think there are like 2-3 guys going downstairs to look at me. I don't know where they are. So I'm just looking around. Okay, there's one guy separated from the bunch over there. Let's do my rending slash into incap, the poison proc, and then yeah, he just died from all those bleed and dot damage. Now I'm just looking where are the other 3 guys. Okay, one guy ran away from the horse, so there's only 2 more left, which is easy peasy. Now I'm just putting down my shade, dot throw the attack cloak into incap, and then light attack surprise attack to kill him off. He's using beam and purifying light on me, but I would never be able to tank through it if I'm using a medium armor build, so I kind of took a risk because I'm heavy armor, and yeah, I just killed that guy before I quickly switch to my back bar, block while I use vigor. That's most important, and then I just killed that guy off with a light attack surprise attack. Okay, so that's it for this video. Make sure you throw this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more ESO videos, because I kind of make a lot of effort in making these kind of videos. And yeah, I guess that's about it. See you guys in the video.